Okay, this is my assessment mark form. This is my student email address. That's my name, my student number, my course information, technology. Yes, set up unit testing. Yes, I've got some unit testing set up. This is my unit testing where I run some tests on the canvas draw line command and the draw rectangle command. Passed in the appropriate parameters and I got positive tests results. Yes, so test for part 1, set up my project is advanced software engineering assessment 1 and my test is advanced software engineering assessment _ 1 test. For the part 2 tests, no, I haven't got any tests for the part 2. So okay, let me quickly explain my interface. Sorry, this is my interface. It has a program area, it has a command line area, it has a run button, this is the drawing area, and this is just a picture bus for Liz Beckett University. It has a file to save the content of the program file to a text file. This load button or the load menu strip loads the content of a text file into the program window and exit close the application. Okay, so commands can be executed on the command line. Yes, we could run cycle 60, we could run move to 50 cycle 100, could clear and we could reset rectangle 100. Yeah. So you could check for both invalid commands and invalid parameters. So I could just type this one after the other. There's the invalid status command. There's the invalid status command on line 1. Sorry. I'm supposed to use the enter button, not the run command runs on the program window. So the enter button tells you the cycle radius parameter must be an integer value. This is invalid parameter pass rate command requires 2 parameters, so you can check for both invalid syntax and invalid parameters. And the draw tool, so this is used to draw line, but my program I use the line. So 100 run. So this draws a line on the screen on the drawn area. Then move to move to 50 and circle 50 circle 50. So it's working. The rectangle, I use the rect. So let me clear the screen, reset, rec 50 100. So this is my rectangle, 50 width, 100 height. Let me clear the screen. Let me reset the command. Then cycle command with radius parameters working. Yes. Use my cycle 50. So cycle command is working. I could clear and reset. Now triangle of all sorts. Yes. So I could add a triangle. It takes the starting point. I could say 100. Take the starting point coordinates, add a middle coordinate and an end coordinate. So 100, 150, 190 to 40. Just as an example, I draws a triangle. So it takes the coordinates. So triangle. Let's clear. Let's reset. Move to 50 triangle. It draws it and taking the parameters. So the pen color, at least 3 different pen color. Yes. I think on my code could, let me clear. Let me reset. Color red. Cycle 50. So I can also change it, move to 50 color yellow, cycle 60. So I could clear and set. Fill on and fill off, it's working. Fill on and fill off, it's working. So I could use the fill on, reset, color red, cycle 50. So it has filled, and I could put move to 60 fill off, cycle 80, clear and reset. So reset the command takes the position, do a cycle if you don't have it yet. So the reset command moves the turtle to the original position. Yes, we've done that already. But let's just see, move to 50 cycle 50, reset. So it takes it back to the initial coordinate of 0, then cycle 40. So it draws the cycle, takes it back to the initial coordinates. I could clear, I could reset. So the clear command, yes, it's working. So I could have a cycle 50, then I could clear. Run multiple lines. Okay, yes, I could run multiple lines. So copy it on the program. So move to, I didn't use the draw, sorry, I used the line. That's line. circle and rectangle run. So this is it's on my screen. So I could run multiple commands. Clear, reset, run, line 70, 70, move to 50, 50, rectangle. So this, so I could run multiple commands. I could also just copy this, clear, reset, and I could also run the command by typing the run button, the run text, and clicking on the enter button. So it runs the command also. Yeah, save and load the program from Windows. Yes, it's working. So let me just clear, reset, run, paste it. I could do a file, save, give it a file name, my program code update .txt. Could save it to my desktop, clear my screen. I could load it and read the file back into my desktop and run. Clear. I could reset. Okay. So show multiple classes. Okay. So let me go back to Visual Studio. Exit the program. I have for my classes. I have two classes. I have the Canvas class, which holds all my methods for drawing: the draw line, the clear method, the reset method, the move to method, the draw rectangle, which the draw rectangle, when the fill is 0, it's going to use the draw rectangle, but when the fill is 1, it's going to use the fill rectangle. I also have the draw cycle on the method. Then I have the parser class, which takes the input from the user, loops through using character returns, splits the text using the character return the new line, runs a loop, call the command line method, which validates, makes sure that checks for invalid syntax and invalid parameters. If everything is fine, then it calls the appropriate method in the my canvas class, which is the canvas.cs. So the canvas.cs holds all our GDI drawing methods, while the parser.cs process the inputs from the users, check for errors, syntax errors, and parameter errors. If everything is fine, it's going to call the methods, appropriate method from the canvas.cs class. And this is my form. This is my form. It just, when the button is clicked, as this button is clicked, and this button is clicked, you just take the text in the program area, pass it onto the parser. That's the parser dot program windows method. Now this is when the keys press enter, and the key and what is entered is not equals to run. So all my commands are case insensitive. So when I converted them to all to lower cases. So when it's not equals to run, it's going to call the parser class, but when it's equals to run, it's linked to the bot1.perform click, which is this action. Okay, so I just explained this, that when for the this I have this this is a rich text, and it's called a program window, which can hold multiple lines of codes. This is called the command line, which can hold just a single line. Now the program line window, the command in the program line window can be run either by clicking on this button or by inputting the run text with an enter button, while the command on the command line is just run using the enter button. So if the button is clicked, it takes the text in the program window, pass it on to the text, call the parser.program window, which is this parser.program window, pass the parameter, which is the strings, which is the input the user puts in, splits the input using a character return and or a new line, splits using those criterias, loop through each lines of the array, each partition of the array. Then for each partition, it's going to call the command line method, passing the values of the array and also the array line number. So it's going to process, checks, converts to lowercase, takes the first partition as the command, then it's going to take the second partition of the array as the parameters. It's going to split the parameter using the commas, then check appropriately if it's line. It's going to check, make sure there are no errors, or the argument and the parameters, and good. This checks if it's an integer, if the parameter 1 is an integer, if the first partition of an array always begins with 0, so it's check if the first parameter is an integer. If it's not, it's going to throw an exception. Check if the second parameter of a line is also an integer. If everything is fine, it's going to call the draw line method of the canvas class, passing the color, the current color. This is the x coordinates and the y coordinates. Then my canvas class just hold all my drawing methods. Oh, my commits. Yes, I have 15 commits. So this is my GitHub account. I also have some projects along my GitHub accounts. This is my my master branch. I have 15 commits, and this is my commits. I'm going to also send a screenshot of my commits. My first commit was done 9th of November 2021. So number of commits, I have 15 commits. My first commit was done 9th of November 2021. Okay, I'm going to also paste a link to my screenshots. Okay, for the comments, I'm going to put a comment saying I have 2 videos. I did one video earlier this morning where I used the marking scheme to run my program. So I'm also doing this using the AS Assignment Mark Part 1 final version to run my program. So thank you very much. I'm going to upload to YouTube, and I'm going to send both links. Thank you very much.